Good people. Jonte Hawkins here, and let's talk trades. So, this episode, I had the pleasure to interview Mr. Isaac Sawyer. I'll have all of his social media in the box. It is Ike Stone. He's on TikTok, and he's also on Instagram. He's a professional brick mason in Houston, Texas, and he tells his story. We had a lot of information covered, and he talks a lot about the masonry trade, his background. He's actually from Pennsylvania, and we had a very in-depth conversation about the youth and trades. He's in his early 20s, and it's not usual for someone in their early 20s to go into the trades, which is why I asked him for an interview. So I met him on TikTok by another brick mason that I follow on TikTok, and he tagged me in one of his videos, and I was very impressed by his work. So I this is a pretty long interview, so I'm not going to sit here and give a long introduction about it. So let's jump into it. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How you feeling? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, there we go. How you feeling?
All right.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. You saw some of the TikToks I done. You saw the interviews that I did with Mr. Slade.
Yeah, that's the OG right there. Yeah, shout out. I don't know him in person. You just like random people that saw, their different pages I end up finding. I'm like, yo, OG, like OG real solid, he's smooth to trial, feel me? And, well good at what he do. So I said, let me tap him with the OG, and when I get a chance, I ask, if I got any questions, like I'm still new to masonry for real. I did 2 years at trade school and now I'm actually working in the field. So it was like, whatever you, in any profession you're in, I believe, like you find an OG who's been doing it for years, you feel me, take advantage, you feel me? So end up finding this page, so I said, shit, if I ever need any advice, hit him up, and he was more than welcome to, hit me up and reach out, even say you need any tips, anything, I'm here to help, him and other brothers out there that I end up running into different, TikTok accounts that do masonry. So I said, I'm young, I'm still new to it, let me just, learn from the elders out there who've been doing it for a grip. So, but yeah, shout out to Slade, shout out to the OG though.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually found him on TikTok also, and both of us from North Carolina. And
okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually in Raleigh, and
wow.
he's not too far. He's from up in the Roxborough area. So we've actually done jobs in some of different places. Now I'm a licensed general contractor, so I've done a lot of that stuff in the area, and we may have been on some of the same jobs and didn't know each other.
Oh, man, small world.
Yeah, absolutely. But he tagged me in one of your TikToks, and yeah, and I definitely wanted to see if I can get your story. If you'd be interested. My focus is college kids or high school kids, middle school kids, just to let them know that they have options. It's not just college. Apprenticeship schools and things of that nature can get them just as much money as a college degree. I'm an example of it. I didn't go to a 4-year university. Now I went to community college, and I wound up getting my contractor's license, and it's been a wrap ever since.
Solid. Much respect to you too. Much respect.
Thank you. But same to you. I was looking at some of the stuff. You want to tell us who you are and some of your background? How did you get to this position you're in now?
Yeah, sure. So you just get introduce my name. My name is Isaac Sawyer. I'm originally from Philly. You feel me? I just moved out to Houston, Texas. Where was that back in first week of July, day after 4th of July, actually be particular. But I'm from Philly. Grew up in Philly most of my life. True told, like speaking about like schooling, I actually went to a 4-year university at first. I went for exercise science because that was my passion, like fitness and all. It still is. But I ended up doing, like, the goal was to do my 4 years, and then after I graduate, then go to trade school. But, as fate to have it, after my 2 years, I decided I got an opportunity for something in the construction field. And I just went for it after that. So I don't want to use the word drop out, but let's just say, like, I dropped out of, college, quote unquote, and I just decided to go, like, the masonry route, going to construction early instead of waiting until my 4 years after I graduate. So I ended up, going to trade school. I went to trade school at Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology back in Lancaster, PA. And they got got masonry, as a trade there. They got different kind of trades. So they got masonry, they got carpentry, plumbing. Although they had an HVAC program, they still do got an HVAC program. They got HVAC, they got diesel, and I believe they got some kind of cyber dealing with computers. But they got almost every trade, you can think of, as far as, like, speaking of construction, So, like, during my time there, our first year, we did basically, just basically learning the basics when it comes to masonry, learning your different types of tools, your trowel, your level, line block, just going over masonry theory, just the basics, and that's what we did during the first year, and just learning how to lay brick, how to lay block. We got into veneer, stone, different aspects of masonry. But the main thing there during the first year was getting that muscle memory down, laying brick and laying block, and just learning that, repetitive, repetition. That's the only way you're going to get better,
Right.
One thing they do encourage you to add, like, by the time we got done our first year, they encouraged us to get an internship, because a lot of people, they just, first year, you in your trade, you got the trowel in your hand, but you take the whole summer off, and then you go back to your second year, and that was like, it's kind of like you back to square one. So they encouraged us to get a internship, and it wasn't more so, hands-on, like, not hands-on, it wasn't more so block and bricklaying, but I did enjoy the internship because it got me into other aspects of masonry. I did a lot of patio work, like hardscaping,
Gotcha.
stuff like that. And I did do some bricklaying, but not a lot. But it was dope because I got all the best of both worlds. I hopped to the hardscaping, a little bit of all aspects of masonry, and a little bit of excavation too that year. We did you can say, let me say, I'm gonna call it a house extension, but it's like they extended, we dug a footer and we poured concrete, then we laid block up, and it was like a patio with like a gazebo under it, and you can come up from the house under it. So, like, that whole process, like, from it being grass all the way up to the actual gazebo and a nice patio with a fireplace, step by step, I was able to see the whole process, going on. And that actually helped me going into my second year, so that was a big learning experience. Finally, let me see, going into our second year, we actually built a house. So, like, all second year students, the carpenters, masons, electricians, HVAC, all trades, they participate in the housing project. And that's one thing I liked about Thaddeus Stevens, Yeah, we actually got to build, it was 2 houses, actually. We got to build 2 houses from the ground up. So, that was dope. A company they did come in for the foundation wall. But, after that, we had to do, like, some block work for the porch for the 2 houses. So mason, we did the block work, and framing went up from there. Carpentry students, they hopped in. Electricians, everybody start pouring in, and it went good. And if I can, I show you a picture too, like, give you an idea of what we built. But by the end of by the end of our second year, we looked at the house and, like, we actually did that, So that was a dope learning experience as well, being able to build the house from the ground up. Not only look at the masonry component, seeing what you do as a mason, but also, like, looking at, like, I learned, like, little carpentry stuff, how that tie into masonry. Like, once we get the masonry, component in, once we got our block work up, our carpenters, they come in, put their steel plates on, and they frame up off of that. So kind of like learning a little bit what each trade do and how your trade connect to other trades, so you make sure your work, is squared away, because, once whoever come after you, they got to, make their job a whole lot easier. So, like, all aspects of the trade, not just me as a mason, but learning, what other trade, tradesmen do. That was also, a good learning experience.
Gotcha. So you guys built on someone's lot, or you built it on site?
It was at a site. It was like in this it was in this complex. So basically, I don't know the ins and out, but basically, like, the school I went to, That was Thaddeus Stevens. I think they got some kind of, deal with the city and like, because Thaddeus Stevens, they've been around for a long time. So like, and they are real affiliated with like the politics in Lancaster County and PA.
Gotcha.
So like, they let y'all to help out, like let the students, like your students do their thing. So I think they got, some kind of, what would you call it? Some kind of agreement where, we can build, build the like, house. And come to find out, that house, the two houses we did build, it was the last night. What you call it?
It was like a subdivision.
Yeah. So that was
Gotcha.
The last house, and what was crazy was it was like we didn't build the only house there. Like two of our houses in that complex was built by former Stevens students. So we made the last house in that division. So that was dope.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure of all the ins and outs, but like so they got something with the city where they able to do like them builds wherever it may be at. But now school they handle all that, but it was an actual work site, and
okay,
people great move into it now soon. I was like chopping up my professor last week, and he said people great start moving into the house we actually built. This one of them, not the other one, but it's dope. You feel me? It's real dope.
Yeah, to see your work and see somebody using your work actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good program.
Yeah, it's solid. If anybody like one of you share it, like if anybody reach out, if they in like the Lancaster area, even not Lancaster, I'm from Philly. It's only about like an hour and 15 minutes west of Philadelphia.
Right.
So if you're in that surrounding area, like let me see, Cane of Prussia, where else? Anywhere in that surrounding, like if you look up Lancaster, PA, if you're in that surrounding area, even if you ain't, even if you got it, because we had like one out of state student, he was in like an auto shop. He was from Maryland, Baltimore in particular. But like most people who go to Stevens, they in that general area, Philly, Lancaster, a little outside, no more than an hour and a half away, But yeah, like it's in Lancaster, PA, Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes. So if anybody's interested in it, you could just click the link and get access to the website.
Yeah, for sure.
So were you exposed to the trades at all when you were younger, like maybe middle school, high school?
No, not by like a teacher per se, but my pop, he was always just like, he just knew how to do a lot of stuff. You feel me? And granted, I said like my pop, he had me like later in his life, so he was like an OG when he had me. You feel me? So he was like old school. But one thing, he didn't force me to go in any trade, but he just made sure like I knew like basic stuff, like like how do you like hammer, screw. What's the difference between like a Phillips and a flat? You go with the most people, they probably don't even know the difference between a Phillips and a flat. You feel me? But just like this general stuff, like how to do around the house, like certain stuff with a car. I was younger, he'd be fixing brakes on the car. He just had me with him, stuff like that. So going into trade school, it wasn't like it was something new, like how to like just do how to deal with like regular tools, But I say that definitely helped because some people in the program, they probably never dealt with construction in their life, so it was like, what is this? But like I say, my pop, he definitely had an influence, and basically, just general like like labor stuff, like how to use tools, stuff like that. You feel me? But
Gotcha.
As an actual teacher being introduced, like it being in the school system, no, I never had that. It was like my pop exclusively, but never in the school system, And like I said, going back, to my pop going through his age, and you want to talk about generations. I say my pop generation, that was probably like the last generation that, I'm gonna say take trade seriously, but like that last generation, like they knew how to do stuff with their hands. You feel me? Cause my pop, let me see, 57. He was in high school by like, let me see, probably the 60s and 70s when they still had trades in high school. Going back to your point, that you did like with the last video with the brother Slade, they don't got them programs in high school no more. So a lot of people out here, a lot of young cats like myself, that are learning from some OG that they know. It ain't coming out of the schools no more like it was back then. So I say that, you can find somebody like that, somebody like my pop, that's who you're going to learn it from. You ain't going to learn it in the schools, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how I kind of learned, general about, construction and it's dealing with tools in general.
Okay. Yeah. That's definitely a bonus.
when you get into an apprenticeship or go to a trade school or Votech school, and you have that minimum background where you know your tools, you know how to use them, you know how to use them safely. You know
Right.
that puts you ahead of a lot of the students that come in green. So you're originally from the Philadelphia area.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I can say firsthand that the trades are very scarce in schools now. You know, you may find one or two high schools that'll carry it in the entire state. You know, it's like that here in North Carolina. You know, and actually it's hard to find instructors to run those classes.
Mm.
We have a lot of community colleges here, and the community colleges are normally the ones that do the trade programs. But we don't have any like standalone trade schools, and not too many union apprenticeships either for North Carolina.
Mm.
What is your current position?
Right now I'm a bricklayer out here in Houston, Texas, with a company. For the most part, we've been doing a lot of brick work, a little bit of block, like on this one project we're working on. But mostly, this is mostly brick, block. I do have some experience with veneer stone. I did a few side jobs back in Philly.
Okay.
So I do all aspects of masonry, whether it be block, brick, stone, stucco, stuff like that. But right now, with the company I'm with, it's mostly bricklaying, and a little bit of block laying here and there. But yeah, that's my position right now.
You're the bricklayer for that general contractor or construction company?
Yes.
Okay. You guys do most commercial work or residential?
Combination of both. Right now we're working on this project. I would call it residential, but like based on the size of the apartment we're doing, I'll say it's more commercial because they got different different companies out there. But other projects, they show like different what they do, different pictures. They did a commercial job someplace outside of Houston. So the company, they do a combination of residential and commercial.
Okay. So that apartment complex is like multifamily. It's a multifamily residential unit.
Got right.
It. Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Love it. Even like I said, I wanted to, even before I knew I was going to get in a trade, but even if I wasn't, even if I said I didn't want to get in a trade as a career, I always said I want to at least have a skill, something active where I'm using my hands, you feel me? Like I always tell people, I couldn't work a desk job, you feel me? Like that ain't it, you feel me? So, yeah. Any like I love what I do, you feel me? And in the near future, a business opportunity come up for me to start my own business, hey, say no more, And also would like the opportunity to teach too. Like, I know you was talking about instructors, that'd be something I'd love to do down the road, also, teach the trade, pass on what I can pass on, the sky limit from there, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's always a skill that no one can take from you. You can always take it with you, and you're proven you can find a job anywhere in the country.
Right.
Anywhere, any construction site you go to, they're short of every position. That was one of the biggest benefits that I had having my contractor's license is I can go anywhere. The exams are the same.
Anywhere in the country?
Mm-hmm. Most states recognize each other's license, but what you have to do is to take their business law exam, and you can work in that state under a contractor's license in that state. That's something to think about. But, what advice would you give to someone in middle school or high school who wants to go into the trades?
I say with anything you do, make sure you love what you do. Make sure you love you, because you don't want to get into like any field, and then you finally in it and you don't love it. So that's one thing I will say. Make sure you love what you do. Make sure actually enjoy it. Cause like with any job, you shouldn't like whatever your job is, you shouldn't look at it as well. Let me say when you're intentionally like picking out like this is what I want to do for a job as a career, whatever you want to call it, make sure you love it and like it don't feel like a job, it feel like like this what you love doing, And about we need money, we gotta get paid, we gotta feed the fam, you feel me? We gotta make sure we eat. But at the same time, it's like you don't look at it as work, look at it as your passion, what you love doing. So I say one, make sure you love it, make sure you rock with it, something you want, you really feel fulfilled with. Two, know what's expected, like even going into it, like coming out of trade school, I knew like some sites require you to travel. Adding like a little hiccup with that when I first moved to Houston, with one company I was with, it was just, a little bit too much traveling. But the company I'm with now, they don't do too much, as far as right now. But, just be comfortable what you'll be able to do, what you want to do, what you don't like doing. So traveling around was not something you like too much. Try like I did, when I first moved, I found a company that didn't do too much traveling, you feel me? So, kind of make sure, the company you get with, make sure, it's suitable for you, whatever your needs are, whatever you desire. If you don't like traveling, being away from your house for more than, a week, because some company, like the company I was with before they did that, I was away from the house almost throughout the whole month. When I came in July, I was rarely at my house, only time I was there was on weekends. So, make sure looking at stuff like that, So what I say, one, make sure you love it. Two, make sure you know what's required of you going into the trade, more particularly the company, what they require from you.
Right.
And I say three, just have tough skin, especially with Mason. That's a trade was like, some days, like especially up in P, I know it's starting to get cold. It probably been cold right now. But it's gonna get days, it's a little chilly, Some days you got out there, you gotta work, Some of them when it get too cold, they don't do masonry work. If it's like below, let me see, when it get close to 35, especially 32, because that's the mortar freeze, because now your mortar gonna be set up and ain't gonna, bond right. But we're gonna have some days where it's a little cold during the summertime, days, where it's gonna be hot, so you just gotta muscle through stuff, especially with masonry, just have a little tough skin, you be all right, And if I was at a fourth, going into it, especially if you go to like even if you don't go to trade school or whatever, or if you don't do apprenticeship, let's say you just go to a site you wanted to learn that way, most people start off as a laborer. That's what I did mostly for my apprenticeship during what was that? During my between my first and second year, I did a lot of laboring. I did hop in and help lay every now and then, but it was a humbling experience. But those experience like that, one thing I learned, your laboring phase, you get the brunt of everything, you get your stripes. Mostly what they're trying to see, they're just trying to see, can you work for one? Yep. That's one thing a lot of old guys want to, crew like to, say, can you actually work? And once you prove that, you show up on time, you can work, you put in, you put out, you make sure you're an actual asset to the crew out there. They say, all right, let's put them on the line. Let's see what you can do. And if you just, come in, you work hard, you stay consistent, OGs out there on the line, they're going to see that and say, all right, let me take this young buck under my wing. Cause like, it was another brother one here too. I think what's his use? His name Stoned Out. And he gave a lot of good advice, and he said, a lot of OGs and this stuff, just like Slade said, he said he 46, I believe. And he said he the youngest Mason he know in the county.
Yep.
That just goes to show, like, there's a lot of OGs in Mason right now. So, like, you're a young buck, you feel me, you want to learn. These OGs, they said, shit, I'm almost 50, I ain't trying to be doing this. Realistically, you won't be realistic about it, too. Like, that's a, like, trade that, you don't want to be doing it till, like, you 50 and 60, going, like, realistically, the way your body, how it depends how people body feel. But for most people, once you get up in that age, it ain't something you want to be doing, like, long term, So they're always looking for young bucks, me taking a young boy under my wing, you feel me, showing the ropes and pass the torch along. So once they see you know how to work, they say, come here, let me show you what I know, I'm going to retire. I'm almost done with this stuff. Your time to shine. So stuff like that, you feel me? They see you ready to work. You can come up and grind. They take you under your wing and boom. But you just got to make sure you got a mindset. You come up, work hard every day, remain consistent and remain willing to learn. And that's it.
Yep, that's it. I agree 100%. The you work for a company. Are you still in the apprenticeship program, or you
Oh, no.
they didn't have an apprenticeship? You got out of the apprenticeship program and got hired with that company.
Yeah, right off bat. So I graduated back in May from Thaddeus Stevens. I worked with a company back in May. I tried to go with the same company I was with during my apprenticeship, but he didn't have work that summer. So I found another company. They did patio work as well. So I stayed in Philly for a cool minute after I graduated, saved up my money before I moved out here to Houston. Let me see. It was actually, hold on, let me rewind. Let me do a backtrack. As it was back in December when I came to visit Houston, I knew I was going to, potentially move. So when I came here, I said, let me look at different companies now in this area, get an idea of what's out here. Then I came back during the spring and pinpointed on like 5 companies that I said, that's what I want to rock with. I met with them, I called them and seen which one I was going to go with. And by the time it was time to move, I finally, solidified on one company that I wanted to go with. So, and then I just start the ball rolling. Yeah, I automatically hopped on the line and I was laying from there.
Got you. They pretty much hired you on the spot.
Right.
Yeah. That's how high that demand is.
Yeah, that's the thing. They needed, they needed Mason. They was looking for Masons as it was, So they say, hey, can you lay? I say, yeah. And I was honest when I say, most people online, they probably got 25 plus years experience. So I may not be as good, but like I can hang, And what's crazy is like the people out there, on the line, they always, give me certain tips. How can I, be more efficient with my trial on the line? So my time here at this company that I'm at now, a lot of people out there, was wanting, teach me, teach some tricks of the trade. Because another thing I can add on, if I was adding number 5, people going into the trade, and then once you finally, do your 2 years or whatever, trade school is one thing, but being out there actually on a line is a whole different ball game. You feel me? Like trade school, yeah, get you ready, get you the basic knowledge, but there's a certain stuff trade school don't account for that being out there on the site does. So like being actually, out there, accounting, being able to like just account for them things that you don't learn in trade school. That's what the OG is going to be able to teach you, So being out there on the line, that was like a, never learning experience in itself, just picking up on like those little things that you don't learn in trade school. So that's another thing I add on too. Like once you get done trade school, don't think you all that in a bag of chips. Cause like once you get out there, on the line and start laying, OGs want to take it like, that's cool. You went to trade school, but like we out here in the real world. You feel me? There's certain stuff that ain't going to count for in there, But they teach you them little tricks of the trade. That's going to make your game better and
make you a lot more efficient.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to the OGs out there that that taught me a little, tricks of the trade, stuff like that, And like I said, people like that, make sure you hold on to them, and be willing to learn, Don't think because you went to trade school, I did too, I know it all. No, Jay, that ain't it,
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I do see with some of the younger generation, they don't trust the process. They want to get to the end result too quick. There's no way around it. You got to go through that process to get there.
Exactly. And like I said, like it's a lot of the OGs out there. Like I think the oldest guy on the crew, by the look of him, just looking at him, he look about, I'm gonna say he early 50, late 40. And like, he not the fastest, but if you just look at his proficiency, how smooth he is, like just even though you older, you getting up in age, you ain't as fast as you once was, but they're still having that muscle memory down pat. You know, I'm laying out, turn around. How you get done all before me? I'm like, the hell? But no, you know, but still having that muscle memory and just having that skill, you know, that skill set ain't never gonna leave you. You feel me? So,
Yeah.
you know, respect to the OGs out there. You feel me? And that's how you say it's a process. You know, like it took them. Like I say, he probably like late 50 or late 40, early 50. Probably took him. Let me see, probably like a good 15 years to actually get proficient. And then after those 15 years, it was just learning more stuff. So like he told me he got like 30, maybe like 30 years experience. He was a young buck when he started, way young, probably like 15 maybe. So he got like 30 plus years experience. You just coming on a line, it's like, calm, like you said, calm down, young buck. You know, you want to get the time, like you feel me? Like you said, the stuff like you said, like it's a process. Like for him to get where he at now, 30 plus years experience, like, you know, calm down, relax. You know, you young, you gonna get there, you feel me? Just like you say, you know, it's all about a process. You know, it's like an old saying, old African proverb, you know, how it go, the youth may be faster, but it's the elders who know the road, you know.
Yep.
You know, they've
That's
been
it.
down the road, they've seen stuff before, they know the little tricks, you know. So you may be able to go fast, you're going fast, but you make a mistake, you know, because you don't want to. You look at the OG, man. That OG, you know, he don't know nothing. But in actuality, it's the elders, like I said, who know the road. So stick with the OGs, man. I know I'm mentioning the OGs a lot, but that's how I came up for sure. And with anything I did, you know, it was like the OG, like, you know, come here, young buck, let me teach you something, you know. And I was always one of like, you know, let me, you know, there's the OG, he knows son, or even a female, you know, even a sister, you know, who like, you know, they can give you some advice on something. So, but yeah, you know, anything when it came to Masonry, you know, 30 plus years experience, you know, you the OG. Let me shut up, sit back, and learn something. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's how it's done. I love it. I love it. Is it you wanna give your social media so everybody can follow you?
Yeah, for sure, no problem. On TikTok. Oh, dang, man, that's crazy. Dang.
I have your TikTok.
Yeah, mind you, I just made the TikTok, so I'm up here forgetting my username. But I know it's Ike. I think it's Ike Love 215, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the exact, you know, I don't know if I got an underscore in there. But you could put that in the video if you want. But for sure, my IG, my Instagram, I got a Masonry page. I like upload pretty much the same content on my TikTok. My IG, what's my IG? Ike Stone. Ike 3_ Stone. So that's IKE 3_ Stone. STONA. Ike Stone with 3 underscores in between.
Yeah. I said I know Brother Slade put me on to your TikTok. So I'm glad I caught it. It's a pleasure talking to you, giving your story. That I've been in the game a little over 20 years, and the purpose of this is to get awareness to the kids, to let them know that there are a lot of options out there other than tons of student loan debt. You know,
Yeah,
honestly.
man. Yeah. And another thing too, like not only like the debt, like you don't want to like. Now let me say, like people say, I made a post. Somebody said I was dumping on people who go to, like, I went to school, you know, but I ain't saying that like going to school, like that's your thing. That's cool, but just know that ain't like the only option. Like you got trade schools out here, and like you make good, you know, shoot. Probably people coming out of they 4 years, they got hella debt, and they not even working in the field that they wanted to work in. But here you go, you just did a 2-year program, or probably even, let's say you didn't even go to school. Let's say you went to, like I know in Philly they got local one, that's the union. Let's say you went there, boom, apply for apprenticeship. Probably got paid a little bit, probably not as much as going to trade school, even at that. But you just paid chump change, and now you out here with, let's say within the next 5 years, you learning the skill, making more money, just as much, if not more, than somebody who just went to a 4-year university. And like I said, I ain't dumping on nobody who do 4 years. Like we need doctors, you know, people like that. You feel me? But just know there's other options out there, you know. And another caveat off of that is, far as like why I view manhood, not just, you out there, you just, you can make a whole lot of babies, but outside of that, like, what can you do? Can you build? Can you do stuff with your hands? And I think in this generation, my generation in particular, I think that's something I see even the OG saying, and even me personally, being in a generation, a lot of brothers out here don't know how to do basic stuff, So, hey man, it's a call to action. I make that a call to action to men out there, across all boards. Get a trade, and like even if you don't do it as a career, just have something under your belt. You feel me? And like I said, I did a live video with the homie, a carpenter and an electrician out in Chicago. He was saying something about he made a comment. He said, I don't see you as a man if you don't know how to do nothing. You a female. He was cracking joke, but nevertheless, there's some truth and validity to that. You feel me? And that's like I said, it's one of the aspects of manhood. You feel me? Ain't the only route, but like ain't the only way to exhibit manhood, but that's something that's definitely dying in this generation. Men who know how to do stuff with their hands and work with their hands. So like and I agree. Like the brother said, I can't call you fully a man if you don't know how to work with your hands and do stuff, and build. Because no lady, you out there with your lady. Let's say she do got a jack and a spare tire in the trunk, but you don't know how to change the tire.
Right.
And it ain't good look for you, you feel me? But that's my take on it, you feel me? But trades, like I say, wrap it up, trades, and that's something I don't think it's dying, but it's at a place where, it can be, it's room for people to get in it, So for anybody out there, looking to get in the trade, it don't gotta be masonry like me. But I will encourage you. I hope I ain't being biased. Do masonry, you feel me? That's where it's at, you feel me? But no, whatever you gravitate towards, electrician, plumbing, HVAC, whatever it is. My grandpa Robert Sawyer, he was a master plumber at that. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's in the bloodline, you feel me, a little bit. But whatever you do, man, I say get a trade. Like I say, even if you don't, make it a career, at least you have it. At least you know how to work with your hands and do something. And shoot, like even if you just do side work along with what your regular job is, it'd be dope to have that in your back pocket,
Yeah, being able to make repairs on your own home, saving that money.
There you go.
It pays for itself. Always.
And I forgot to grab your name. What's your name again? I know you sent me in a text, but I forgot it. What's your name again, bro?
Yeah, it's Jonte. Jonte.
Jonte. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was.
I got a question. What trade do you got? Like you got a specific trade, or are you just like in a general contracting?
I went to community college. I have my degree in electrical and industrial systems. So once I did that, I started working, and I started doing property maintenance. And I started doing property maintenance for a guy. He had 15 rental properties. And he was the one that talked me into going to take the contractor's exam to get my contractor's license.
Right.
So now I'm licensed to do residential commercial construction. So all the sub trades are under the general contractor. So the GC pulls the master permit. Then you have your electrician, your plumber, all of those guys actually work for the general contractor.
Gotcha. Hey man, shit, you can't do nothing but applaud. You feel me? Dang.
Likewise. I like to see everybody. I like to see younger generation getting in and doing the trades. And like I said, it's few and far between find the younger generation out here on construction sites. I mean, even doing residential work. I did a commercial DOT. That's totally different ball game. I mean, even just doing small stuff like the foundations and things like that. You don't see too many of the younger generation doing it anymore.
Nope. And that's like what the brother Clay said, like, Like it's a dying, like I said, like I said before, it's a dying generation. And like I said, it's like I said, it's like it's room for hope in there. Like for brothers who want to get into it. Like me, I'm an example. You feel me? So like, let me see, how can I put it? If I always say like, I always try to like encourage and like some of my homeboys back in Philly, like, get off the street, like some of they out in the street, stuff like that. So I told them, and they graduated high school. It's like, they cool, they still got their credits. I told them about the school. I said, yo, you graduated high school, you got your GED. If you want to like do something different than what you got going on now, hey man, just try it out. You feel me? That's like, what's the worst you're gonna like? Just give it a try. You feel me? And hey man, like you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. Grabbing a trade, man. That's all I gotta say. You can't go wrong. And it's sad because like there's a lot of OGs out here. It's like once they, go on, they done with the trade, who we got left.
Yeah. All of that knowledge is lost.
Word. Especially if they don't teach it, it's like you got teach, like you said, like we got Slade out there, but ain't no young cats out there really wanting to do the stuff. Right. So now it's getting to a point where it's like, who gonna fill these positions? So, hey man, it's on us, And I say not even on like the older generation. I say, I put that on myself too. Like, I think, even like people only see like, I think when they look at construction, there's a lot of older cats in it, a lot of the OG generation, you feel me? They don't see nobody, I say like around my age, who doing it and also promoting it, And that's why actually I even started like, I made an IG page, trying to promote that out there a little bit. And also I went to TikTok to even promote it more, and that's like, I wasn't even going to create a TikTok, like all the like trending dance stuff. I don't feel like seeing all that, but I said, let me create one. But yeah, that's, I'm trying to do too, like promote it. They see like a young cat in there like myself. Oh, they say, hey, let me get at a shot,
Yep.
So I think that's another thing too. Like I won't displace all on the older generation, try to recruit, but also like put some young faces out there like myself, whoever else watching this, whatever skill you young like me, I'm 22, I'll be 23 in January. Like if you young, you do a trade, try to promote that. Even if you just started off with your family and even some, younger people that's around you that try to put that out there, promote it, and just see what happens. They take it, they don't, they take it, they don't, they take it, they do, they don't take it, oh well. But just, I say it's up to, us even a younger generation to put that out there, not just placing it all on the OGs and like Slade and whatnot. So I say we got a role to play in growing the trades as well, not just y'all.
Yeah. One of the things I can say is a lot of the youth aren't exposed to it. They just don't know. They're like I said, they're not learning it in a school. They don't see anybody in their neighborhoods that's in the trades. They just not exposed to it. And us using social media to get that word out, get that information out, is one of the biggest reasons why I started the webpage and started the podcast, is to reach as many people as I can through social media.
Right.
Just to have that exposure.
Solid.
Now, I want to thank you. This was refreshing. And I have a young guy working in the trades and want to promote and expose people to it. That's my whole purpose of this podcast. I want to thank you for your time. And you have my contact info. We can always keep this conversation going, and those conversations on social media, on TikTok and Instagram and all those other social media programs.
For sure, man. Likewise.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, peace, fam.
All right.
And there you have it, good people. That was a very, very informative interview with Mr. Sawyer. And as a recap, his socials are Ike, IKE 3_ Stone on Instagram, and Ike Love _215 on TikTok. Make sure you follow him. He has a lot of stories and shows a lot of his work while he's on the job site, and some pretty good inspiration. So again, follow me on social media. If you have any questions, comments, any subjects you'd like for me to cover, we may dive into something that's not construction related, as long as it's a skilled trade that doesn't require a 4-year degree. So again, thank you. Always like, comment, follow, and let's talk about it.